these values, and they are actually enshrined, because one of the outputs of Vision 2030 was the new constitution that we launched in 2010 and implemented in 2011, and it's basically about if you're not patriotism and focusing on the nation as opposed to just tribe or community sounds quite bland when you put it that way. But really, what is patriotism? Love thy neighbor as you would have them love you. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Really, what is, if you're a public servant, servant leadership, leadership and integrity. We have a whole chapter of the Constitution in Chapter 6, which now we have said must be part of the national value system, which is leadership and integrity, where your peers will review you and make a determination as to whether you qualify to lead Kenyans or any section of Kenyans or any part of society. But really, it's to take what you typically would have in a bland value system for a country and tie them to what we as individuals and believers and in our fellowships talk about: honesty, loving thy neighbors thyself, fairness, and in public, and then servant leadership. Servant leadership is really up there, that you're not there as a cabinet minister or a permanent secretary for yourself, but you're there because you are there to do a service for the country and especially for progeny, for posterity, just making that the basis of every road we build, every new power plant we put up. Because what typically tends to happen with this big transformational project, we get lost into the shiny, glassy projects, the highways and the expressways, and along the way people do the wrong thing, where they use these projects to enrich themselves, so not only it's a slippery slope. It begins by forgetting why you're doing this, and you get awed by, wow, this 10-lane highway, the first of its kind in Kenya, which you did build. But if you get lost in that, then it's a very short runway to the next worst thing, which is, okay, how can I, as Mugo, leading this project, it's a multi-billion shilling project, find a way to get some 100 million for myself, But if values are at the center of the vision, and values always remind you, you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this for the country. You're doing this for people. And not just for the people who are in Kenya today, but for the kids and children who are not yet born, who will come and find a functioning, transformed country. Then you're going to be, okay, the reason I'm doing it is not about the shiny highway, and therefore how can I pocket something out of it? But really you're doing it as a public service, as a servant leader, and it helps you remember that. I think that was sort of the basis of our coming up with a national value system.